when I find teachers saying that teaching is a thankless job, we do so much and finally I don't know whether the students would remember us. What is the point in working so hard? I always remember what happened in my family several decades ago. My grandfather retired as a primary school teacher. He was an outstanding teacher. Even those time in British India, he was admired and respected. But I saw him when he is already retired. We were in Dharwad. I was a very small child going to school, perhaps in the 4th or the 5th standard. First time, the India got the ration system when China attacked India. During 61-62, the ration system was implemented. Kerosene, rice and sugar were to stand in the queue and purchase them. It was a peculiar sight for all of us. In Karnataka, in our state, there was a greater restriction that we could not take these materials from one place to another place, in another district also. When we were in Dharwad, my grandfather received a letter from a distant relative saying that a lady close to her family had delivered in Bijapur and Bijapur did not have good rice. He asked, can my grandfather take about 4 or 5 kilograms of rice for that lady? My grandfather knew that as per rule he cannot take it. But the affection is a totally different thing altogether. He decided to take some rice. You know what he did? Those days we did not have suitcase or anything. He spread a little carpet, put some clothes in that, and in a small bag he took about 3-4 kilograms of rice, rolled the whole thing over and tied with ropes, and our bag was ready. And my grandfather took me also. 3 of us, grandfather, myself and that luggage, travelled to Bijapur. We got down from the railway train onto the platform. My grandfather appeared to be in a great hurry. You can visualize typical kache dhoti, shirt, coat and topi, and he was having the luggage on the left shoulder and holding me in the right hand. In essence, both luggages only. He was trying to drag me faster. Come fast, come fast. I didn't know why he was in a great hurry. Probably he was scared of the police at that time. If anybody catches him and finds rice in that bag, he may be punished. That was perhaps forcing him to go faster. We were very close to the exit door. Suddenly, my grandfather found somebody had kept a hand on his shoulder. He turned back and saw it was a policeman. My grandfather started sweating like a wet towel. He started muttering to himself, I made a stupid mistake. I should not have brought rice. They'll put me in jail. How will you go back to Dharwad? All the while he was worried. And the policeman shouted, come, boss is waiting for you. This man was enough to bother us. And there was a boss also waiting for us. And we went in the direction he showed, and it was the station master's room. Nobody was there. My grandfather said, nobody is there, we'll go. And the station master shouted, where are you going? The police officer had kept the jeep here. You have to go in the jeep and meet the officer there. I should tell you very honestly, those days, going by the police jeep was the most insulting thing ever. If a police jeep stands in front of your house, you are a criminal. I was enjoying the show. My grandfather had no option. He took that luggage, went into the jeep, and jeep went to different roads in the city and finally stood before a huge house. I had never seen such a big house. It was the superintendent of police, the head of this district. Those days he was like a governor. We entered inside the house, and that luggage, he can't leave it. We sat in the sit-out. After 5 minutes, a constable came from inside the house and told us, come inside, boss is waiting for you. The same stern voice. First of all, my grandfather was scared and nervous. He was sweating all over. He entered into the hall. I followed him. It was a huge hall. There were nice sofas and nice decorations there, and 3 constables were standing there. They were orderlies in the house. And in the center, there was a big black man with a big moustache and a lady next to him. And my grandfather assumed he must be the boss. He had made a mistake, you know. He folded his hand in apology and went inside and said, I'm very sorry, sir. I have made a mistake. I have made a mistake. The boss who was standing there, you know what he did? He stretched himself on the floor and touched my grandfather's feet. My grandfather was shocked. He was waiting for a punishment. In turn, he is getting respect from this man. Then he wondered, who is he? Who is he? And the constables were shouting, boss, boss. Till then, they had seen people falling at the feet of the boss, but they had never seen boss falling at the feet of anybody. And when the boss stood up, he was folding his hand like this and tears rolling down his cheek. He said, sir, recognize me, sir? My grandfather was also folding his hand and said, no, sir, I did not recognize you. I am Bhima, sir. My grandfather looked quizzically and said, which Bhima? Immediately that man could make out my grandfather did not recognize him. He said, sir, I am Bhima, sir. Murugod Bhima, sir. I was in your house, you remember, sir? Suddenly some kind of a recognition came in my grandfather's eyes. He was folding the hand like this, Slowly he brought his right hand down. In a flash, he raised his hand and slapped on his face and said, idiot, you have become a policeman? You scared me all these days? And the policeman, I thought he would hit back. But on the contrary, he started crying. So hit me, sir, hit me, sir. Because of you, this body has become a human being, sir. You remember, sir? We were in the small village. We were not touched by people, we were untouchables. My father used to sweep the road. After 4th standard, my father said, stop the school, come back. They will also give some money for you also start sweeping the floor. But you came to my house, fought with my father, kept me in your house for 3 years, gave me food and educated me. And after 7th standard, there was no school in that village. You remember, sir? You took me to Bijapur, admitted me in this hostel. You paid fees for it. Sir, if you had not done that at that time, I would still be sweeping the floors and roads of that village. I am here because of you, sir. Then told his wife, you pray God and do worship. Forget all that. He is my God. Worship him. And both husband and wife bent down and touched my grandfather's feet. I saw my grandfather crying. When he stood up, I saw my grandfather hugging the student so strongly. Both crying. It was a sight for gods to see. On one side I saw a grateful student. On the other side I saw a gratified teacher. And then that student told, sir, I tell you one thing. I learned so much from you, I got so much from you. Even if I peel the skin of my body and make chappals for you, I cannot redeem my gratitude for you, sir. Then my grandfather asked, you saw me in the station only, why did you not meet me there? He said, how can I meet you, sir? I was in the uniform and wearing shoes. Just to meet you, I came back home and took bath so that I can touch your feet. That is a sight. Transformed my life. It forced me that teaching is the most exhilarating thing in the world. If you are passionate teaching, never feel that teaching is a thankless job. It may look so. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, your successful students will come back and say, my life is done because of you. And you feel your job is not thankless job. It's the most gratifying experience. Each teacher, a passionate teacher, finds teaching a most gratifying job. Teaching is the most beautiful job on earth.